Shalom and good to see you all. This is the Healing29 back again for some indie comic reviews. And in these indie comic reviews, I'll be covering Hyde Street issue 3, which is done by Jeff Johns, and of course King Spawn, of course done by whoever is writing King Spawn right now. I'll now get things ready and organized for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end. And also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, this is sort of set in a festive period. In other words, Christmas past, but as we have a somewhat person dressed up in a Santa costume, and we do learn that this person here isn't exactly Santa. If anything, they're a bit of a bad guy of sorts. Of course, he ends up meeting someone who thinks it's actually him, only to learn that, okay, something's not actually right here. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we end up catching up with the characters of Mr. X-Ray, along with Pranky, who was seen in the last issue. And of course, we get to see some of them interacting with him, or those two characters interacting with him. As we start to move towards the end, we get a bit of a foreshadowing of another new character that will be coming into the scene. Who it will be, it'll be interesting to find that out when the next issue comes out. So for the internal art, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the story. So considering it's broken down into 3 areas: time, location, and cast. First is the area of time, to which we do know that this takes place around the Christmas holidays. Next is the location. Well, everything takes place on Hyde Street, on the Hyde Street comic book. The cast of characters consisting of Mr. X-Ray, Pranky, of course we learn of Samuel Capus, I think it is, and also someone known as Dan. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this issue. I'm looking forward to the next. So, as we move into the next issue of King Spawn, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, to which I give a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, but also what's happening story-wise with the characters as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So as the story begins, we learn that what's taking place has happened 3 days ago, until it eventually moves into the present a little bit further in the story. And of course we see Al Simmons up against who this new villain is. I didn't quite catch his name, and it would have been nice to see the character's name being used here a little bit more. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we learn that how this character came to be is because of something what Spawn did in the past, and he's got a bit of a vengeance streak against him. And last but not least, towards the end, to which we get to see some more characters that are communicating with Spawn, but also some characters not connected with Spawn. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any comic book references to any of the previous issues that might be important to the story? The answer is no, we didn't. Next is the time which was seen within the story. How was it used? We had 3 days ago, today, and also 2 weeks ago. Some of the places that we got to see location-wise was a hospital and a workshop. And the cast of characters that were present that I was able to get a hold of their names, of course, the main one being Spawn and the last one being the Tinkerer. The overall story rating for this is a 6.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.